Hi there, guys. Thanks for being with me today. I told you it'd be a three-parter. Thanks for the comments. I got an email saying that I was wrong, my information was wrong, that I passed on to you about BYU going to only, Mormon assistant coaches, head coaches. Kevin, my good buddy, good friend Kevin, has indicated that I'm wrong, that they do allow non-member coaches. And in fact, that supposedly Jamie or Jaime Hill, whatever his name, the defensive coordinator that was fired mid-season, was a non-member, and there still possibly could be a non-member or two on the staff down there. Okay, I'm not here to argue. That could very well. I told you that I didn't know what written policy was. Written policy is different than what I've been not led to believe, but been told from inside, from somebody close to the program. Okay, that the direction is you must be a card-carrying member to be considered for a job at BYU. Now, that may have just opened a Pandora's box, because what's actually written down as policy could be different than the direction that the program wants to take, or even the coaching staff. What Bronco wants to do. Because there's a lot riding on this business of playing college athletics now and being head coach. You're held accountable, and specifically at BYU. So, what is the policy? I'm not sure. Maybe one of you out there can let me in on what the actual written policy is. I'm just telling you what I have been led on to as a direction or as policy. Okay, there may be written policy to satisfy some requirements by the NCAA. Very well could be that they can't narrow that their search for coaches, by, religion. That may preclude BYU from being a member of the NCAA, so it can't be written. I don't know. But I'll tell you what I have heard from sources close to the program, as they say in news, and that's as far as I'll go about that. So it's interesting that that's things that you hear and things that are actual law are sometimes can be different, and sometimes there's got to be a little bit of truth to it, or some substance to it, because I've heard this discussion on the radio. Okay, now this information that I guess I'm privy to or have been told about comes within the last 18 months. Okay, I did not get down to BYU this last season. I went down to get my plaque for the Hall of Fame September of last year. Okay, so this information has been gleaned since then. Anyway, and be that as it may, I'm still going to say that BYU is in a bit of a precarious position when they're going out to find replacement coaches, specifically on their assistant coaching staff. Because whether you want to admit it or not, these coaches, if they are non-members coming in, they must abide by the code that BYU sets. Okay, and that could be too much to handle for a lot of qualified candidates. They don't want to be put under, they want to have their, their after work beer or whatever it is, There isn't really a code of conduct everywhere else. Obviously, in every coach's contract, there's conduct detrimental to the program clause, where if you do something that makes the program look bad, doesn't, can make it a situation where you could lose your job. But here, it even takes it one step further. You need to live by what your athletes have to live by, and that does take a lot of people out of the running. So good information, if in fact that is the written policy. I'm telling you, maybe the direction BYU is trying to go, since Bronco now, and he's been in office for a little while, and we'll see. Anyway, good stuff. Thanks, Kevin. Like I said, I'm not always right. But again, I'm relaying inside information, and I hope I didn't open a Pandora's box. But And finally, real quick, we have the East-West Shrine game coming up, and Andrew Rich in it, and had some questions. The East-West Shrine game is a game that is more for the fringe college player, the guy that is looking to improve his stock enough to possibly just get drafted. Okay, you're not going to find your top and the blue chip college athlete at the East-West Shrine game. Okay, this has always been a game where they've picked from a pool of players that are second tier, not getting as much exposure, players that need this week to impress the scouts, and then a good showing in the game to maybe get on the board as a possible draft choice. That's what this game is all about. It's interesting how the college all-star games have evolved over the years. There used to be the Hula Bowl, which I went to even as an injured player. There was the Senior Bowl. There was the Shrine Bowl, only it was played in Palo Alto at Stanford. The A-listers went to the Hula Bowl, and just partied and had a good time and laid on the beach and had this game at the end of the week that really didn't impress anybody. Then there was the Senior Bowl, where that was kind of the bowl where you get your first paycheck. I mean, they actually pay the players. Okay, and I believe the Senior Bowl's still around, but you got 10 grand for winning the game, 5 grand if you're on the losing team. And that's big money for a college guy. And that was your first opportunity to get a paycheck. And actually, that was a place where you could go as a player and improve your stock in the draft. Okay, and then of course the East-West Shrine game, where they have is more for the second level guys, maybe guys that aren't considered draftable right now, but if they have a good week of practice, they might get on the board. And that's what Andrew Rich has got to do. He's got to go, and now he's playing against 11 guys on the other side of the field, or the other side, the offense, that all can play. And weaknesses will be shown. I don't care at what level, whether he's a not draft worthy or draft worthy. I mean, if there are weaknesses in his game or he has the ability to play, it'll come out this week. So, do I think that he has the opportunity? I think it's depends on how he tests out and what he does. Once again, it's all going to be really kind of how he performs this week. So I do not believe that he has the speed for the game in the NFL, but I could be wrong. But anyway, so I'm going to watch it. I'd like to see how he does. Hopefully he gets good playing time. And but really the test is this whole week of practice. And anyway, good stuff. We'll just keep talking. I've got some things that I'd like to talk about, and you guys spur some ideas every time I get a comment or a question, and it's good stuff. So I really appreciate you coming. We'll keep it short this time. I'm done with my rant, and I rest my case. See you guys later.